Hey guys, welcome back to Only One United. Um, I don't know what to say. For the first time, I don't have words right now because I personally thought that we should have won this game. I thought after the bad performance against Reading 1-0, we won the game, and then against Sunderland below par, like a sub-par performance basically. I thought we'd come back to win it by a big margin, especially against Everton. But as it turns out, it's another 0-0. Like, this was a very, very, very frustrating game. Let's just be honest. This isn't the benchmark that we have set for ourselves. I said after the Liverpool 6-0 win that we are in a title race, and it is the hope that kills you, and it is that hope that killed me today. 25 shots, 23, 25 shots. I don't know. Somebody's saying 23, somebody's saying 25. But out of 25 shots, only four were on target. The players looked, tired, knackered. There were so many chances. Like, even in the first half, even in the first few minutes, there were so many chances of United going front, winning winning this game by a good margin. Like, even if this was a game where we won 1-0, I wouldn't have complained. 0-0. Honestly, this feels like a loss right now because for me personally, because I did say that we are in a potential title race. But as it turns out, I think Chelsea have won their game, or like it's going on right now against Spurs. Like, they're winning 3-1. Even though Beth England scored against her old club, but yeah, they're winning 3-1, and I don't think Tottenham are going to come back and let Chelsea drop points. So as it turns out, Chelsea are on top, we are on second. Arsenal have two games in hands, so if they win both of those games, I think they go 2 points ahead of us. Where do I even start about this game? Let's I'll just rant for some more time. I think the players looked tired today, and yeah, like Juan says, I think the pronunciation is Juan. Just one of those days where we couldn't score. I think it's absolutely right because whatever we were trying to do, whatever we were trying to do, it wasn't making sense, and I don't know what to say because this feels like a loss. 0-0, like I am not getting any words to explain this game. Like I said, it's a loss. We have dropped points. Everybody's saying that United haven't won a point. They have dropped 2 points, and that's the benchmark that we've set for ourselves. I don't understand how do you go from defeating Liverpool 6-0 to barely winning against teams like Reading and Everton, and then dropping points against like Reading and Sunderland, and then dropping points against Everton. What's rotation, guys? Like, I'll just put out this question. What do you think is rotation? Yeah, Namrata and I met recently, like I think yesterday only, and we had a chat about United. Uh, and Namrata mentioned that if we like this is a very tricky game. This would be a very tricky game. That's what she predicted yesterday, and it turned out to be a very tricky game, very dicey game because we dropped points. She also said that if United are to, strengthen their chances of getting into the top two, they have to beat Everton. And this Everton side, I wasn't very much aware of Everton because I haven't followed them that much, but Everton have been quite good against the top, like the traditional big three and the traditional big four. So I think their manager would go home thinking this was a successful game, even though they did also try to score. They did also try to, cause upsets. There were a lot of errors from our players as well. Like, I think there was one particular error from Ona. Like, she was trying to defend, and I think she did a sliding tackle. And then that tackle went to Jess Park. Like, the ball went to Jess Park, and Mary Earps and everyone were way ahead of the goal line, and I thought, okay, Jess Park is going to chip it in, and it'll be a big heartbreak losing our second game of the season against these teams that we are blue, Chelsea and now Everton. But fortunately, Jess Park, shot the ball over the target. What do I say, guys? I am just not very happy right now. I wasn't even prepared to, come out with this reaction of saying it's a 0-0 because after that Sunderland game, I will be very honest, I was very critical of the whole team, of the management, and I thought, okay, maybe they have learned their lesson and they took Sunderland a little lightly. So they'll make some changes, they'll make some system changes. And there was one another thing that Namrata was talking about, which is actually a very good point, and which hasn't been analyzed properly, is that whenever we have to make a change, like whenever we are not winning and we have to score goals, and we have to defend, it's always the forwards, the substitutions that come in. And today one of the main thing that we noticed was that the midfield was a bit off. So what we needed were substitution based on midfielders. Like we should have brought on Vilde Boris. We should have brought on the birthday girl Cascarino. So yeah, one shout out to Estelle Cascarino as well. It's her birthday. I know it wasn't like it wasn't the perfect gift from the other team, but it is what it is. I thought that Cascarino would have done well because even against Sunderland, she came in and she played that role of a box to box midfielder for those few minutes that she came on. Um, yeah, so what we needed today were midfield substitutions. I think even Moyo, which goes by the name of Moyo's Laboratory, she came on as a guest in Natalie's show in our last video. She also mentioned that today substitutions should have been based around the midfield because the midfield looked a bit off today. And I think that was the case. Like you could see towards around the 60th minute that Haley Ladd and Katie Zellum were struggling a bit. And also, we got 10 corners, guys. I think. Let me just check. Yeah, we got 10 corners. We took 22 shots inside the box. We took 3 shots outside the box. So that's a total of 25 shots. And out of those 25 shots, 4 were on target. And we hit the woodwork 2 times. So, like, that's I think, 4 shots out of 25, it's around 16%. So a 16% conversion rate from shots to, like, from total shots to on shots, on target shots. I think that's a very bad conversion rate. It should be north of 25 at least. At least. Uh, Paul says Mark did not utilize his bench. I can only think of 2 subs, very poor from Mark. How can we even dream of keeping Russo with Mark not having the ability to take us to the next level? I think for this particular game, I like every game, it's about the rotation policy, and not even about the rotation policy, it's about managing the minutes of the bench players. And, I thought when Rachel Williams came on that maybe, just maybe, she's that impact sub, but there's a limit to everything. Like you can't expect her to come on every time and score a goal, so that's understandable. And I think the players also looked a bit off today. So, like, it's a 60-40 share of blaming, in my opinion. And it's not actually blaming. I think at the end of the day, they also know how they performed. And, we shouldn't be pointing fingers right now. Especially I shouldn't be pointing fingers because my DMs would be full of the stands. So I'm not pointing any fingers. I'm just saying that, the players looked a bit off. The coaching staff should have made some substitutions based around how the midfield was performing as a whole. I'm not saying it was a very bad performance from the midfield, but they looked a bit off today. Even Tooney looked a bit off today. I think Leah Golton coming into this team was like refreshing to see in the first half, at least. In the second half, you could see that apart from the midfield as well, other players were also, feeling that fatigue levels. So let me just check. Yeah, Paris came on, Williams came on. We had Cascarino on the bench. We had Borisa on the bench. We had Martha Thomas also on the bench. I think Martha Thomas came on, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, so much was going on, so many shots, so many passes that I forgot who all came on. I think one more thing that I wanted to say was Hannah Blundell was very good today. There were some instances where her position wasn't good, but I think as a whole, I would say she was my player of the match for this particular game, even though this was a very, very, very bad game. Ona Bhatia, like the crosses she was putting in were often blocked by the players, but there was this constant threat that she was like she was a constant threat for Everton's left hand side. And yeah, Susie says Thomas didn't come on. Yeah, you have to win this game if you want to be in a title race, or even if it isn't a title race, you have to finish second at least, because that's the target that should be. You cannot aim for third, because every time we aim for third, we end up coming fourth. So why not aim for the top two, or at least like you get what I'm saying, right? So I think with that idea in mind, making two substitutions when you have five, like I understand you don't want to make the whole five substitutions because that's never happened under Skinner. I think maximum four or even five has happened. But yeah, like I understand if you don't want to make five substitutions, but three at least. Like you have to win this game. And I think Everton go home thinking this was a success. They took points off United. They took 2 points off United. I don't even know what they must have thought, like after we defeated their neighboring rivals Liverpool 6-0. I thought we face Everton in a few weeks and maybe they might not even get a point. And now today they've got a 1 point and they've taken two away from us. So it's very frustrating today. I'll just read out some comments as well. Susie says 12 out of 24 shots were off target. 50% were off target. Like I understand if 50, I say even 60% of target, it's fine, but the rest 30 40% should be on target at least. We always leave it to 65 minutes to make substitution. I think this is a recurring thing, and now I've honestly given up on early substitutions. So yeah, yeah. So I was saying something. Yeah, I was saying that whenever we see substitutions happening, it's always the forward players, and today we needed midfield players as well. And the substitutions need not be, the game management is not based around substitutions only. It's not based around swapping players. It's also based around changing your system according to what the game is offering. You have to adapt to the game, and I feel what we play is 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3. So every time, like, we have two wide players, we have a striker, and in this particular game you could see how, like, it was a low block basically. In my opinion, Everton were playing a low block. They knew that United would attack, so the box was filled with uh, Everton players, and it was a whole ruckus inside the box. That's what my opinion would be. uh, Cascarino looked good against Sunderland. Why not have given her 15-20 minutes? I think Paul is absolutely right here. I think I also mentioned it towards the beginning of this video that Cascarino should have come on. She did well against Sunderland. I know she's a defender basically. She can play as left back and a centre back. But lately this season she has been play. She played as a CDM for PSG, and against Sunderland, I could sense a bit of a number eight role for her. But obviously, the minutes were so less that you cannot judge her talent and you cannot judge her best position on the basis of those minutes, because the sample size is a lot less than it needs to be. Susie says the only time we make all five subs is when we are already winning by a huge scoreline. I feel not even then. Like I haven't seen five substitutions, I'll be honest. But yeah, maybe it's because I am so frustrated that I'm not able to focus properly on how many substitutions we have made. I'm just watching the table again and again, and I'm seeing that our like we've scored 31 goals, which is second best. We've conceded six, which is joint best. We've got a goal difference of plus 25, which is good, which is very good, because I never thought that we'll get above plus 15. So that's plus 10 over my expectations. But since, like, still, I understand the Chelsea loss, I understand the City draw, the nerves are high, and once you're in such big matches, form goes out of the window. But against Everton, at least, guys, like, 0-0, I'm not very happy, and I'm not trying to blame anyone. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not trying to blame, but we need to learn. We needed to learn against Reading. We needed to learn after Reading. We needed to learn after the Sunderland game, and we need to learn now because we go to a Tottenham side who look much stronger than they used to be before. They've got Beth England, they've got other good players as well, and I can't seem to understand like what our game plan would be against them. Like today, also they scored a goal against Chelsea, but yep, that game is also on Sunday. That game is also at the same time, and then next Sunday we face Durham, I feel, and after that, no, not next Sunday. Like there's an international break, and after that, the 26th of February we face Durham in the FA Cup next round, round five. Um, yeah, I'll read more comments because I've said what I've said. I've got no words. I don't want to, focus on individual players. I want to see this whole team. And I think if I were to focus on individual players, I'd say Hannah Blundell has been amazing today. She deserves her flowers. She was also amazing against Reading. And there's a lot of time. I even mentioned it in the match reaction of Reading that often that Ona has said that benchmark. So obviously, when whosoever plays in our team will be judged around or on the same basis. But Hannah Blundell has been performing so well and has gone under the radar often, and I feel that she deserves the flowers like I mentioned, and I'm super happy that she's putting in good performances again and again. And I think today Sarina was also in the stands. So Sarina, if you're watching this, and like I trust me, like I'll take a bet. Hannah Blundell deserves to be called up for the England squad because I feel she can play a big part for England in the World Cup. So just my Hannah Blundell prop. I think Susie would be very happy. I think Mickey, if she's watching, she'd be very happy as well. Uh, Now I'll read some comments. Players need to know performances like this will have consequences. Yeah, absolutely. If you're not playing well, you should be dropped. And right now, I'm not saying the players are, becoming used to the fact that they'll play howsoever they perform, but there have to be consequences. And guys, before I move on, I just want to say, please don't hope anything. I hoped for a good title race, and I don't feel happy at all. So it's the hope that kills you. Just remember, the one line out of the show should be it's the hope that kills you. So don't hope for anything. Let's just enjoy the game. I think that's what we'll do now. Uh, because I don't want to build up my expectations because after we perform like this, they come crashing in, and it's disheartening. And like I've said, I don't have words, but I've extended this video to around 20 minutes. So I'll just finish it up quickly. Namrata says there's no downside to playing badly. You will still play. Yeah, exactly. I think she's building up on the comment that she made here. Players need to know performances like this will have consequences. And, there's no downside to playing badly. There's no downside to playing badly. You will still play. So I think she's building up on what she said initially. And this should not be happening. Susie's quite happy that I mentioned Hannah Blundell. Paul says, I love Zelen, but today she was too slow in making up her mind. I think today was one of those games where nothing good was going on. I think somebody in the comments initially towards the beginning of this video said that just one of those days where we couldn't score. I think that's absolutely right. And players need to take responsibility as well. There were a lot of instances where we should have, attempted a shot on target and we didn't. So that's absolutely not, you expect players to score and then, we see such shots. So it's a little, it feels a little frustrating and bad. But, I'll end this video on a happier note because I've sulked for 20 minutes straight. I think like this was a wake up call. This was a humbling experience. Like this was a week basically Everton showing us that we are still not ready to compete at that level to compete with the likes of Chelsea right now for the title. But what I would say is that the season is not over yet. There are still chances that United makes it into the top two. I don't want to say top three right now because every time we say top three, like we've been saying it for the past few seasons, we end up coming fourth. So this time I'll say we are aiming for top two, and maybe we'll end up getting third right now. So Yashui says, anyone know when Lisa Nalsson is due to be fit? I think she was training with Bran like for the January, like their post-season training camp. But I don't know like why she isn't playing. I think she's like Skinner is taking some time to make her adapt to this league, and I think that'll not come on the training pitch. I don't know like whether she's fit or whether she's injured, but I do hope that we get to see her play. I think she's our record signing, 160K or 180K. I don't remember, but it's a record signing. So it'll be good if she plays, and I think she can play a big part. But yeah, Spurs next time, and after that there's an international break. Like let me just count. Is there an international break? 12th February is the Spurs game, and after that, yeah, there's an international break, and then we play Durham in the FA Cup fifth round. So there's still time for getting a silverware. Like even if we don't get the title, manage our expectations right now. Even if we don't get into the title race, I feel if we go into the latter stages of the FA Cup, it will be a good learning experience for much of our squad. I think this squad as a whole, like individually, you can see players have won something. Ona has won something with the national side at youth level. Um, four of our players have won the Euros. Players have played in the UWCL. Cascarino has played with PSG. Lisa Nalsson has played with Bran. They both are quite good at the international stage as well. So there are a lot of players. Like I've not mentioned everyone, but as a team as a whole, this United side of 2022-2023 season needs to win a trophy together, so that we can build up on, like we can use this momentum and go into the next season with much higher expectations and aspirations. Right now, the only thing I'll say is players need to take responsibility. The rotation policy needs to change. Game management isn't just based around substitutions; it's also based around changing your system, adapting to what the game needs from you in order to win. And it's the hope that kills you. Keep that in mind, because that's very important. Uh, I've stretched it up so much that it's beyond 23 minutes. So you won't have to look at this face anymore. I'm just going to call it quits. I'm just going to sulk a little bit more before I, talk about the positives. I think we'll plan something in the midweek, or we'll do another reaction video after Spurs game. So please, United team, if you're listening, please, if you want to see a good reaction video, please, 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 please win the next game against Spurs, because that will be another important game in order for United to finish in the top two. Uh, some more comments. Never expected us to get title this season, but it does mean we need points against the other big sides to secure Europe. Absolutely right. I think you've got points against Arsenal. That's a very big game, and even against City we got 1 point, even though we should have won that game. Against Chelsea, I understand the nerves are always high, and I hope the next game, like when do we play Chelsea? I think we play them on 12th March. So in that game, if we can get some points, I think we play an away game. So it'll be good. For the first time, I think we'll be getting 3 points if we win that game. Uh, Fingers crossed. Keep supporting our channel. If you like our content, please subscribe to it. Please like the video if you if you loved my ranting session, my sulking session. If you want something new from our side, please do let us know in the comments below. If you don't like how I react to videos, please do let me know in my DMs. I'll straight away respond, and I'll take positive feedback. I'll try not to sulk the next time, because I'll have no expectations for that game. That doesn't mean I don't want United to win. I want us to win, but it's the hope that kills you. Always remember, keep supporting Manchester United. Keep supporting women's football. That's it from my side. Hope you all take care, and I hope United learn from their mistakes today, because today was not a game that. We deserve to win, but we didn't take our chances, and that's why we dropped 2 points. That's it. That's my 10-word review of this game after 25 minutes. Take care, stay safe. Bye bye.